Disclaimer: efforts have been made to not to infringe with any copyright. If so, it may be brought to our notice for its acknowledgement in future editions. No part of this digital content be reproduced, stored, or distributed in any or by any means either on paper or electronic media unless authorized. Digital content for candidates with speech and hearing disability. Sector: Media and Entertainment. Subsector: Animation, Gaming. Occupation: Animator. Reference ID: PWD/MES/Q0701. Version 1.0. NSQF Level 4. Chapter 5: Produce 2D Animation. Chapter 5: Produce 2D Animation. Unit 5.2: Working on Flash. Hello friends, welcome to an exciting session on working on Flash. Key learning outcomes: familiarize with application of 2D animation techniques. Working on Flash software. Flash is a web multimedia graphics program that enables you to create interactive web movies. It uses vector graphics and is easy to learn. When Flash is launched, a welcome screen appears with few shortcuts. Launch window. To start working on a Flash file, you can use either the File menu or you can click on an item in the welcome screen. Example: working on Flash. Adobe Flash Library. The Flash library is a consolidated location where you can browse, add, view, delete, and organize symbols as is done on a computer. Library. Adding an item to the library. Let us understand how to add an item to the library. It automatically adds items to itself when a symbol is created. Once text has been created, press F8 or go to Modify and convert to symbol. Convert to Symbol dialog box appears and select the graphic button. Enter the name as text, T-E-X-T. Press OK. Notice that changes that have come into being in the library. Press OK. Notice the changes that have come into being in the library. Add an item to library. Displaying items from your library. Displaying means dragging and dropping. Multiple instances of the same item can be dragged. Click and drag the circle movie clip from the library to the stage. You will now have 2 copies of the circle movie clip on stage. One of the copy can be deleted by pressing the delete key. Remember that by deleting an item from the stage does not delete the item from the library. The converse, however, is not true. Displaying items. Deleting items from your library. Select the item to be deleted from the library and press delete on the keyboard. Delete key. Movie clips. They are movies inside movies. These movie clips have properties and timelines which are independent of the main movie. They are timeline independent. They can be edited specifically for each movie. They are flexible and saves time. Movie clips. To edit a movie clip, double-click on them from the library, Ctrl+L of the main movie, or they can be previewed by using the Control Test Movie. If you have to create a movie clip inside an existing movie, use Insert New symbol and choose Movie Clip and name it. Press OK. There's a new stage and timeline for you to create the movie clip. You can add layers and graphics based on your preference to this new movie. When it's over, get back to scene 1, make a new layer for the clip, then drag it out of the library to the stage. Then use Control Test Movie to see it play in the main movie. Anything can be added to the main movie without impacting the movie clips on the stage. Unless a background image is inserted, the background of movie clips will be transparent. Test movie. For movies created outside of your main movie, open File, Open as Library and import the .fla that has to be used. In the library, it will appear as a symbol which can be dragged out to the stage. A new layer needs to be created for each movie clip that needs to be imported. Import. Explanation of keyframes. Blank keyframe. On the timeline, this shows as an open circle when there is no artwork on the stage. At that frame, a blank keyframe is seen. Blank keyframe. Keyframe. Everything on the stage where something changes is a keyframe. Keyframes define changes in the animation. The first frame in every layer is automatically a keyframe. Created keyframes are displayed in Flash as a solid circle. Empty keyframes are shown as hollow. Keyframe. Frame. Different layers can have different numbers of frame. 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 Clear keyframe. To erase the keyframe, we use clear keyframe. It erases all the content from the stage. Clear keyframe. Remove frames. Choose the frames to erase and select Insert Remove Frames. Remove frames. Timeline. The movie's content is controlled and organized over time using layers and frames using timeline. If there are many layers to be displayed on the timeline, then timeline. The stage. This is the area when the animation will be displayed for editing. The size of the stage can be changed by clicking on the Modify Movie. The width and height can be changed. The stage. Onion skinning buttons. It lets the animator view all layers of the animation in the timeline in multiple layers for positioning. The layers that are dimmed cannot be edited. Buttons. Playhead. The playhead on the timeline is a movable beginning and end. You can click and move the playhead down the timeline at any speed for viewing your movie and helping you to identify frame changes for editing. To play your movie at any time during its creation and editing stages, just hit the enter key. Playhead. Frame by frame animation. Open mymovie.fla. Let's try to write My Frog Movie with one frame at a time. Choose brush, draw the letter M on the stage. Now choose frame 2 on the timeline, insert a new keyframe, draw the letter to form the word My. Continue and repeat the steps with different letters till My Frog Movie is written. Drag the playhead to the first keyframe. Under control, play to play your movie. Frame by frame animation. Motion tween. Animation in Flash is timeline based. The starting and ending point for a particular event are specified on the timeline. Time in Flash is measured in frames per second or rate of frame change. When an animation is created in Flash, the starting frame and an ending frame should be specified. Let's take an example. You can choose a ball to be on left of the stage at frame 1. Motion tween. The keyframe is then created, N, the 20th frame, for example, and move the ball to the right end of the stage. This will create an abrupt transition from one end left to the other right. Therefore, motion tweening is required. Set keyframe. Motion tweening creates a transition between the ball at first frame and the last frame N. Flash calculates on its own the ball's position between frames 2 and N1. Now, when you preview the animation, the ball moves from its initial left position to its right position gradually, and there is a seamless movement. Tweening. Create the tweening example. Make a blue circle graphic symbol. Just have the circle in the center of your stage. Insert, insert a keyframe at frame 25 in your timeline. Now insert a keyframe on frame 50 and one should have. Modify circle size and choose free transform on frame 25. The scale and skew boxes show around your circle. Click any of the boxes on the corners, drag it outward. When the animation is previewed, Ctrl plus Enter, then your circle starts off small and then suddenly becomes bigger. Get back to its small size again. Let's smoothen this better. Choose all the frames in the timeline from first frame to frame 50. Right-click on any of the frames and choose the option for Create Motion Tween. You will see that when you preview the animation, the circle will smoothly animate from small to big and back again. Tweening. Flash Shape Tween. Shape tweening. In Macromedia Flash, it is referred as the transition from one shape to another. Create a simple rectangle in frame 1 of the timeline. Flash tween shape. Insert a keyframe in frame 25 and 50 in the timeline window. Shaded active area is from frames 1 to 50 and the animation is going to occur. To enable morphing, select the middle frame, frame 25, and draw a blue circle on top of the existing red box so that the choose any frame from 2 to 24 using left click in the timeline window. Now, in the Properties option, to tween is set to none. Choose Shape from the Tween drop-down selector. Now insert another keyframe at frame 26. Choose any frame from 27 to 49, left-click, and once again choose the Shape Tween from the Properties. Only vector images can be shaped. Shape tween. Creating mask. Masking is a simple way to reveal parts of a layer below. Static mask. To create a new Flash document. On the timeline, say there is a layer called Layer 1. Place an image on this layer. Create a new layer above existing Layer 2. Once the Layer 2 has been created, choose it and go to Modify, Timeline, Layer Properties and choose Mask as the type and click OK. Go back to layer 1 and modify. Timeline, layer properties, choose masked and press OK. The bottom layer is the masked layer where the image is. Note, if you have more than two layers, only the layer that acts as the mask and the layer below it will be masked. You will need to repeat step 4 for masking other layers. Creating mask. Now create a shape such as a rectangle or an oval on the mask layer, top layer. Now test your mask by pressing Ctrl plus Enter or by locking both layers. Text masking. Open Flash. From Modify Movie Size, the work area, choosing 300 into 250. Let the background color be black. File Import to import a background image. Choose a larger image than the background image. Cover the stage by resizing the image. Modify, transform, scale. Name the layer Leaves. Keep the frame rate to 20 fps. This is done by clicking on it. Text masking. Above the first layer, add a new layer. Choose the text tool and type Leaves in the middle of the stage. Use the necessary font and color. Select the text layer and choose Modify Layer. Name the layer as Mask and dot the mask selection, then click OK. Choose the Leaves layer and select Modify Layer. Click OK. Choose Control Test Movie to see the masked layer. Test Movie. To animate this, extend the timeline. Click on frame 40 of the Leaves layer and press F5. Lock the layer so that it is not edited accidentally. Add a keyframe F6 on frame 40 after choosing the mask layer. Open the frame panel, Windows, Panel, Frame. With the selected layer from the frame panel, put a motion tween on the layer. Click on frame 1 and move the text to the left side of the stage. Click on frame 40 and move it off to the right. Lock the layer and you will see the mask. You will see the text roll across the static image. Static image. Sound Forge. Sound editing. Workspace. On opening SoundForge, workspace will be blank. SoundForge software. The toolbars. There are two toolbars which are on the top of the workspace, one for controlling the recording and editing called the editing toolbar and one for playback of sound files called the transport toolbar. Toolbar. Opening a file. Create a new file. Open an existing sound file. To create a new sound file, click the New button on the toolbar, pull down the File menu and choose New. Open a file. Saving a file. File, save as. Saving a file. File, save as. Adding sound to a movie. Adobe Flash can use MP3, QuickTime, WAV, and TIFF formats. To import file, import to library. Adding sound. Once it is imported, it is shown as a choice from the library or as a choice from the sound panel. To keep a sound in the background loop in the main timeline, set the sync to start and set the loops to 999. If the loops is set to 0, it will play once only. Sound can also be set to fade in or fade out. You can also assign a short sound to an event. You can also synchronize sounds by adjusting the timeline as shown by dragging the last keyframe of the layer and moving it. Use Effect tab to fade sound in and out. Sound Forge. Creating a button. Buttons can be used to navigate and or invoke advanced functions. Open a new Flash document, go to Insert, New Symbol, choose Button and give it a name. Click OK. Add the movie to the main timeline. As the button was inserted as a new symbol, it must be placed in the main movie to work. The timeline and drawing area should look empty if you began this button from a new movie. To add the button, go to Window, Library or use Ctrl+L to show the library window. Creating a button. The timeline should have only one keyframe on the first layer, while on the screen the button should also be visible. Keyframe. Button action script. In Flash, open the Actions panel, choose the button and type on Actions panel. Go to Movie Clip Control, then On, then Release on Actions panel. Leave space on Timeline Control, go to and Play, then and specify where you want to be transfer when you click the button. Button action script. Export. Go to File, Export Movie. Window will appear. Name the movie and select Format for the movie. Export. Thank you.